Here on CBS Sports HQ, we're out west in the NBA playoffs. The San Antonio Spurs left no doubt dominating the Minnesota Timberwolves to punch their ticket to the Western Conference Finals. But now comes their toughest test yet. A showdown with the defending champion Oklahoma City Thunder, who are well rested, rolling and just waiting for them in the Western Conference Finals that gets underway. Game 1 Monday, 8:30 Eastern Time. For much more on how they'll fare and how they really got here, let's go ahead and welcome in Coach Avery Johnson. Coach, always great to see you. Thanks for joining us this morning. San Antonio headed to the Western Conference Finals for the first time since 2017. What has impressed you most about this team's evolution during this playoff run?
Versatility, maturity, size, shooting ability, coaching. It's just so many things. This team just culturally is put together in the way that reminds me of my Spurs teams in the past. They all play the right way. They got great synergy on the court, chemistry. It's all about the team. It's not about individual success. Everybody's on a string defensively. And then you can hear how they communicate on the floor. You can even hear it coming through the TV. It starts with how they communicate, and they're a physical team to be such a young team. So they have a lot of great things going for them. And Victor Wembanyama, what a great guy in terms of, being the best player on the team, but also being a guy that everybody, that galvanizes the rest of the players. He plays both ends of the floor. He can shoot it. He obviously got ejected in one of the games, but came back strong. I'm just so impressed, especially as a former Spur. I'm really impressed with this team. And these three guys right here that you got on the screen, Fox, Castle, and Harper, all can pass, dribble, and shoot. Everybody's a threat. There are really no weaknesses in their games. So, I'm really excited about this Western Conference Finals.
You mentioned all of the strengths they have. We're going to ask you in a second if that's going to be enough with their next task, But meanwhile, another early offseason for Anthony Edwards and the Minnesota Timberwolves. What's the biggest question, in your opinion, this organization now has to answer heading into next season?
What do you do with Rudy Gobert? I've always thought with Gobert that, yes, there are some positives in terms of the shot blocking, and, he did a good job on Jokic in the first round. But at the end of the day, he's too much of an offensive liability. And, when he's on the floor, you're basically playing 5 against 4. So what do you do with Rudy Gobert? Obviously, DiVincenzo going down hurt them a lot because he was having a really good year at the guard position with Anthony Edwards in the background. But as you know, you need quality depth. When you're going up against the OKCs of the world or the Spurs, you gotta have 9 or 10 guys that consistently can play in your rotation, and size and athleticism. So Minnesota has to definitely address Gobert, but also improve the quality depth on their bench. Terrence Shannon Jr. showed that he could be a rotation player, but you need more guys that can come off that bench, because OKC and the Spurs, they're basically 11, 12 deep.
We'll see how that all plays out, but let's get back to San Antonio. You listed all of the reasons they advance. You mentioned chemistry, size, coaching, communication, but will it be enough? Because, okay, great, you advance, but now you got a date with the defending champs, as you see here, the Oklahoma City Thunder. Avery, what's the biggest matchup or storyline you'll be watching when the Western Conference Finals get underway on Monday?
Just exactly what I've been talking about, the benches of both teams. We already know Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. We know Wemby, but the benches, that's going to be critical. That's why the Thunder went out and got Jared McClain. But he's going to be going up against a Dylan Harper. That's a tough matchup for him. So who can get the most production out of their bench? And then in the last 2 minutes of the game, can the Spurs slow down Shai Gilgeous-Alexander? Can they limit OKC from having a home at the free throw line? Because we know it's like a buffet for OKC in terms of getting to the free throw line and getting those free throw attempts, having that separation. So those are the couple of things that I'm looking at. Bench, what's going to happen in the last 2 minutes of the game? Who do the Spurs go to when they need a bucket? Is it Wemby? Is it De'Aaron Fox? And can they slow Shea down in terms of him with those free throw attempts?
We're going to find out soon enough. Game 1 can't come soon enough, 8:30 Eastern time on Monday. Meanwhile, in the East, the Detroit Pistons, we saw them avoid elimination once again and force Game 7 against Cleveland. What has allowed Avery, this young Pistons team, to keep responding with their backs against the wall?
Their best player, Cade Cunningham. I've been watching this kid since he was in 6th grade. He's good friends with my son. This Cade Cunningham is he's an extraordinary player. Same team that lost, 28 games in a row 2 years ago. But they've matured. They've gotten better. Jalen Duren, he had 15 points, 11 rebounds. This Jenkins has been unbelievable. They obviously got Duncan back because he had an ankle situation, Duncan Robinson. But Cade Cunningham has just been sensational. J.B. Bickerstaff done a masterful job with coaching this team, playing at a high level, but it all starts with Cade and ends with Cade Cunningham with the Detroit Pistons.
All right, so as you see there, Game 7 Sunday night. With it all being said, who are you taking and what do you think is the ultimately deciding factor in this one?
I'm taking the Cavs. I picked the Cavs to win this series, Jordan, and I'm sticking with it. Unfortunately, James Harden turned the ball over 8 times in Game 6. And didn't play as efficient as he needed to. But I'm going with the backcourt of James Harden and Spider Mitchell, Donovan Mitchell. They're bigs. Mobley, they got to generate more than 3 block shots. So get better bench play from Cleveland. But I'm picking Cleveland in a close one on the road against the Detroit Pistons.
All right, one more bonus question before we go to break. MVP announcement is tomorrow, Avery. You're talking a lot about your guy, Cade Cunningham. Do you think he gets recognized?
He'll get recognized, but, this is all about Shea. I want Victor Wembanyama to win it. I think he'll win it next year, but Shea Gilgeous-Alexander, I think he'll win it again. But Cade Cunningham is closing the gap, he and Victor Wembanyama.
All right, we'll leave it there for now. Much more from you, Avery. We're actually talking horse racing on the other side of this. Avery Johnson, he can do it all, that's for sure. Before we go to break, OKC now welcomes San Antonio, as we mentioned, to the Western Conference Finals. The defending champs, odds makers, currently the favorites to win the finals and go back